Yeah, well, my name's Ian Walker. I'm in my late 50s. Don't feel like I'm in my late 50s, but I live in Christchurch, New Zealand. Hand cycling is probably one of my biggest passions. I enjoy reading, going to the gym, trying to be as active as I can. And my first spinal cord injury in 2006 was I broke my back in a cycling accident, and I was T3 for mid-thoracic incomplete, paraplegic. And then I damaged my neck, and I was out hand cycling in January last year, got run over by a four-wheel drive vehicle, suffered multiple fractures and injuries, one of which was I shattered a disc in my between C5 and C6. So I'm being classified as a C6 quadriplegic incomplete. I think it's C6C. So I've still got reasonably good hand function, and I'm almost back to probably having the same level, physical level of ability that I had prior to the accident. I'm still not quite as strong as I was before, but it's been a year, so. I'm mainly positive. I think that's got a little bit to do with my mindset. Yeah, I suppose the hardest thing to get used to was lack of height. I was 6'2". Well, I still am, but I'm sitting down and obviously a lot lower than that. So not being able to reach stuff that I could, normally just do. But no, I think the biggest thing I learned in the wheelchair is you learn to plan everything. You got to have routines. You got to have systems in place, because that way you don't miss stuff. Someone said to me, but you can't be simultaneous in a wheelchair. You can't just do things at the spur of the moment. I said, yes, you can. You just got to plan to be spontaneous, that's all. But I think the other things is never be afraid to ask people to help, because being in a wheelchair does have its limitations. There are some things that you just can't do, no matter how hard you try. But never be afraid to ask for help, and never be offended when people offer to help. I think if I hadn't been in a wheelchair, I would have missed out on a lot of opportunities that I've had. Travel. I've met some really, really great people. Yeah. And continue to do so. I think it's just been positive. I think that's the thing. I've learned limitations, but at the same time, I'm always looking to explore other things that I can do. How can I help other people that are in wheelchairs, or how can I get people who don't understand about what being in a wheelchair means and the things that they can do to help. Well, when I was first time in the spinal unit, they had a thing called Show Your Ability Day, and they have these three areas in New Zealand. There's Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, and they have all these companies come along just and show off their what they've got, mainly for occupational therapists. And what they do was one in Christchurch, and the next day they brought all the gear to the spinal unit, and we all went out and had a look. And they had a hand cycle in one of those, and I gave it a try around the car. I thought this was pretty cool. And because I've been in a cycling accident in New Zealand, we cover ACC. So if your injury is caused by an accident, they say ACC bought me a hand cycle. The hand cycle I had then was just a general purpose, get around, big wheels and stuff like that. I was looking to get involved in stuff which was still wouldn't enable me to do sort of long distance sort of stuff. And so I then got involved with Achilles, and I went to New York Marathon in 2014, 2017, and I think I've done 9 hand cycling marathons. Biggest obstacle was probably access. I remember when someone once told me you can do with the use of your legs, you can do about 10,500 things. Without your legs, you can do about 8,000. So I think it's trying to push the envelope through getting towards 9,000, I suppose. The biggest thing I miss is, it's probably just, it's just not, there's some things you just can't do in a wheelchair, and I think people have to accept, I think when they first get into it, and I did too, was, well, look, I can't walk. I'm going to try everything I can to walk, but if that's my ultimate goal, and I get disappointed, I'm just going to end up, my life's going to end. So I start looking, well, there's a whole lot of other things I can do. I can be independent, I can do my hand cycling, I still do with a caliper on, because I've got movement in my left leg, I can do the caliper on and a gutter frame, I can sort of shuffle. But I think the biggest thing is attitude. The biggest thing about it is facing adversity, and especially now with lockdown and the COVID-19 going on, everyone's got to accept these new normals. And I think when I say in the talks that I do, it's just, it's like I said before, you've got to, when you're faced with adversity, you've got to face it with reality. You've got to accept where you are now at the moment. You've got to work out a plan to get to overcome. And then you got to set your steps in to do that, and that may be helping people. That may be, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to be confident. You've got to have the belief that you can do things. That your injury is not the end of the world. It can be the beginning of something. I've got a saying: you don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can. And so you try and change that mindset about, because I'm in a wheelchair or I've got a disability, there's all these things that I can't do. What you've got to remind yourself of is all these things that you can do, and they may not be, running a marathon, it may not be being able to walk down to the shops, but there's a lot of other things that may seem inconsequential to you at the time or to others, but if you've got a disability, any little thing you can do is an achievement, and you've got to reward yourself, and you've got to put yourself on the back of that. Yeah, that was really, really interesting. The first time I went to do I was a football referee before my first accident, and I was still at the spinal unit at the time, but they had a course up in Auckland, a coaching course. So I went to do it, and I had I got some accommodation organised in Auckland, and I had a niece that was living up in Auckland at the time, and she said to me, I'll run up, they said they're accessible, and I thought, it turned out their accessibility comprised of a ramp to the office. So I had to get lifted into the room. I couldn't use the toilet because it was the doors weren't wide enough. But other things like going to motels and they find that the furniture's set up so that you can get around it in a wheelchair. Beds are too hard. They put things like the crockery and everything up in showers that are too high for you to reach. Microwaves too high. I've had trouble with showers where they've got a sunken, so the shower's low. So you got to lift about that much. So you got to try and get over it. The bench seats in the toilet, in the showers for showering, are these wooden slats, which I can't sit on because I don't have any muscle tone in my bum. People just don't think enough. I think that's probably the biggest stuff. I think unless you've been in a wheelchair, I suppose people don't realise what accessibility really means. And that's where you guys come in. People understand that we're different only as far as what makes that disability different from an able-bodied person, but that's the only difference. Yeah. That tends to be the only difference, and that we're the same as everybody else. We have the same needs, same wants, same desires as everyone else. Just the fact is our life has to be a little bit different. But there's a lot of stuff that the only thing that stops us doing things is maybe because, in my case, I can't use my legs. But I think some people more than that, most people just need to realise that just because you have a disability doesn't mean you're any different than they are. You just got to, in my case, I just use wheels as access. That's all. Be patient. Just plan. Know the things that you're going to do. Set a routine. I have a routine every morning that I do, so I know. I lay all my stuff out the day night before when I get up. Don't accept limitations of your disability, but understand the limitations, and you got to work within those. Don't let those limitations stop you from trying things, but at the same time you got to be aware that they are there. You got to fight for protecting, because we're a worthwhile part of society. 25% of people in society are disabled in some form or another. So we're not a minority. We're a sizable chunk. We just got to be united in our voice. Make yourself heard. Don't be afraid to ask for help. But be positive. Just because you're disabled doesn't make you less of a person.